some point this month, hopefully. No. My Windows installs are cursed enough as is. Streaming it is just begging for trouble. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a folder to contain all the stuff that we do today, maybe yes, but yeah, make one actually. Cool. Sounds good to me. I am excited for it. The plan, I think, is we're going to start by doing Next.js the Next.js way initially, get everything set up, and then from there, we're going to do Next.js the T3 way so I can show you what it's like if you trim all the fat. Should be fun. Also, just realized my stream can't hear you. Hopefully, I just fixed that. Howdy, stream. Sorry about the weird time. I know, everybody. I told you that we'd be live in like an hour or so, but turns out Primeagen's bad at time zones because he's a programmer, and we're all bad at time or date time. That's what we do. We fuck up times, and we complain about year 2000. But we're here. We're streaming. And we're teaching Primeagen Next.js. It should be really fun.
I know nothing. Oh, do you want me to stop my feed, or do you want me to continue to have my feed as is?
Oh, keep having your feed as is. This is great. I actually am literally, I just took your feed and put my camera over it on my end. So it's like the simplest thing ever. I'm basically just restreaming you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, this will work totally fine for me. Nice and simple. Cool. Generally, I want to like be the devil on your shoulder complaining as you start trying all these things out rather than like me taking over. And also I can complain about your Vim setup while we do it. Should be super fun.
This should be good.
Good stuff.
Let's do it.
Let's get started. Cool. First and foremost, let's get you the create next app setup. So good old
Before you
NPX.
do that, can you tell me what Next.js is?
Next.js is a backend framework focused on providing a good experience for users in React.
Okay.
Think kind of like PHP or Rails, but instead of serving an HTML file, it serves a React application.
Okay. I now have a box. Okay, good. Now I officially have said yes to the NextJS conference without knowing what it was. I now know what it is. I am now pretty good. All right, so
awesome.
NPX.
What? NPX is npm executable. It lets you execute a package without having it installed. Create-next-app.
Create next app.
An important detail note. Kill it. Stop it. Control-C it. --ts.
Ooh, yes.
We do not use JS in this camp.
All right. I like it. I don't want to use JS.
Yeah.
It's emotionally painful.
I very much agree. I have a hoodie that
all
says
my jumping to definitions just stop working, and then I don't want to program anymore.
Also painful. I was not a JavaScript or web dev fan for most of my career. I started actually doing Elixir at Twitch originally. And I moved over to JavaScript because we had adopted React and TypeScript in a rewrite of the Twitch site, and I fell in love with it then. Up until that point, I couldn't stand front end, but TypeScript made it a lot more viable for me.
TypeScript's definitely more bearable. I would definitely agree with that. I had a time. The amount of errors I've had that were just like, dang, that actually was undefined. It just hurts too much.
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm here. What's the play?
Let's hop into Pages first and foremost.
All right, Pages.
So the important thing to know about the Pages directory is that it works a lot like the view directory in, or what's it called, Rails, or traditional file-based routing in something like PHP. Every file we put in here is now going to be a route in our application. So if we made a new file here, like dgen.tsx, that's now going to be a page in our application. And in here we can export default function, name it whatever. Does it need to have a name?
Phil, can we do that?
Sure. Yeah, just return some HTML, just return div test.
Yeah, hello world, right?
Perfect.
There we go, classic. Actually, really, if we're going to do this, we should probably be hello dgens, right?
Perfect. Yep.
All right, got
then
that.
npm run dev it quick.
Hold on one second. What was the thing called? It was called Next.js. Oh, not Netflix. Next.js. Sorry, someone's turned off my monitor. I can't actually see anything. All right, good. There we go. Now I'm going to go into Dingle and dim it in here, and let me open up another one. All right, so what do I need to
npm run dev. Should have already installed everything.
Run dev. Classic.
Cool.
All right,
and now
3,000.
we should be able to Pop into that.
Localhost 3000. There we are.
That's the home page,
Awesome.
and change the URL /dgen.
Dgen.
Ta-da. Nice.
My goodness. This was simple.
Yep. So let's
Chat,
go
simple.
into
Yeah.
the magic of Next.js, the thing that makes it different from like, because theoretically everything we have right here, you could just have a code gen router that takes these files and creates a single page app, but there's nothing here that's truly backend yet. This is just server pages. One interesting thing we can see quick though, if we go to the browser again.
Oh, the browser. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the network tab.
I will go to the. Oh wait, hold on. I'm in Firefox. I
That's
don't
fine.
know actually how to. I don't know how to use Firefox. So here, let me go to localhost 3000. I'm gonna put you over on one. I genuinely have no idea how to use it.
Cool.
I wish I could have light theme or. There we go.
Open up that. Oh god, the light theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah. Oh, so refresh the page so we have data in the network tab. The interesting part, if we scroll up to the top here, we'll have the dgen like file here. Go if you scroll to the response on the right there.
Yep.
Click the prettier button on the bottom. My face is going to cover most of this, sadly, but what you'll see here, for those who I'm not covering it for, perfect, is that inside here, you're getting the actual HTML contents of the page, hello dgens. We're not getting a script tag that runs on the client and then generates the page. We actually did generate HTML on the server, and if you were to turn off JavaScript on this page, the content would still be there because it's being generated on our server running the React code.
Okay, that makes sense. So we got the server-side render of the actual page, and then for whatever reason, the other stuff came down that would allow it if I had more fancy things.
Back like nothing happened.
Chad, is this man a Chad? You need that 4090 Ti that can't actually run because it catches on fire. Isn't that like the reason why the 480 is or the 490 is not coming out? Is because it actually just explodes?
Yeah,
That's what I
it's the 4090 is insane amounts of power, but it is very cool what they're doing with it. I think AV1's going to be a really big deal in the next year or two, but right now it's we got a ways to go.
Like, build that crap.
Yeah.
Back in the day, before AV1, we had what it was referred to as AL1, aim low encoding, because we used to aim low to be able to bring the best quality with the least amount of bits.
Interesting.
So,
very interesting. Yeah, I
used to be known as. I only knew it as AL1 until someone's like, "It's AV1 now." I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's AL1 in my book." Whatever.
Yeah, AL1's actually I like that naming a lot better. AV1's confusing because it looks like AVI, and we definitely don't want AVI.
We don't want AVI. All right, I'm ready. Okay,
cool.
so we've now just done it. So what do I do now?
Let's do some backend. Let's go back to the pages dgen file quick. And we're gonna show off one of the signature features of Next.js. I will preface this with I avoid this feature at pretty much all costs if I can nowadays, but it does do a good job of highlighting these problems. Somebody mentioned I'm on focus. Give me 1 sec to refocus my camera. There we go.
Quick question. What would be the purpose of you? I guess let's do it, and then let's talk about why would you want to use it and why would you want to avoid it.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so let's do it first.
We're going to use one of these fancy magic functions that Next.js provides called get server-side props. So we're going to export const get server-side props equals.
Export const get server-side props equals.
And this is a function, so we don't need the inputs for now. Yeah. That should work with the equals function syntax. Yeah, cool. Normally I do arrow function, same difference.
Yeah.
But what we want to do here is return props. So we're going to return an object that has props :
Oh,
if it doesn't have props : it gets very upset. And then in this we can return something. So I usually just to test it, we'll have like time or subscribe. Perfect, that works.
There you go.
Yep. So now in our
press the subscribe button already. People watching on YouTube, just do it. This is ridiculous. All right.
Come on, hit that sub button. It's free. So
that must mean I can go in here and do some sort of props in here.
Let's just console log it to see what we get for now.
It's angry that I haven't given it a type, so I'll just ts ignore.
Just give it any for now.
There we go. That means I should be able to go back here, refresh it, and see. Oh, look at that. It's printed it twice. Does it always print it twice? Okay, printed it twice.
It's rerunning the component because React likes to do that a lot. But the interesting thing, if we check...
is it because it landed and it was already rendered? So then when React started running, it was just like, I got to run now with these things.
No. Actually, you'll see why. Go check your CLI where the dev is running right now. And you'll see it's in here too.
I don't even get that at all. Why is it in here?
It's in
How's it
here.
communicating? Is there a WebSocket that's set up during development time?
No.
That pipes all console back here?
No. What is happening here, if people are saying that my mic is too loud and yours is too quiet, I'll just knock myself down a little bit. Hopefully that'll balance that out.
Is it? On my side, we're golden.
Yeah, I think that on my side, I'm just loud, and I don't know why you're quiet, but we'll deal with it. No worries. I balance things on my side. So we're going to talk about hydration here. So the first thing that has to happen when we send HTML to the user is we have to generate the HTML for the user.
Correct.
So the logs you're seeing in here are the logs from when we generated it on the server.
So it runs it twice on the server as well?
It actually only should have ran it once on the server, but we refreshed the page once.
Oh, we refreshed the page. Oh, yeah, boom.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, that makes
So
sense.
it runs once on the server. Why is it running twice on the client, though? Because it's not taking these console logs and piping them over. It is actually running it twice on the client.
Can I make a guess before you tell me?
Sure.
Let's go console log. I meant to say hello, but we got fellow. Dang it, that's not it. I figured that maybe since there's props, it always passes them in. No, okay.
Nope. This is React doing its thing in dev mode. So React likes to test what happens when your components have their renders interrupted. So it's constantly interrupting and rerunning your renders at least once per mount. So effectively what happened there is React silently unmounted and remounted your component to make sure that it doesn't break in a billion disgusting ways.
And hold on, just to help me, I read this somewhere. This is because at some point when someone re-navigates back from a different tab, React is going to run some sort of, hey, you need to re-render everything type deal?
It's because in a concurrent environment where all events can be interrupted, you need to have your components written in a way where its render could be interrupted, cleaned up, and redone. So let's say we have a crappy chat website where we type in the name of a channel and it connects to their Twitch chat. But we are auto-connecting every time we press a letter. And more importantly, we are interrupting those presses we're interrupting the connection whenever we type a letter, because with React in concurrent mode, input priority is above all render priority. So when I'm typing in the name of a channel, every time I press a character, it's going to kill and reset whatever the effect is that does the connection. So it's important to write my code in a way where I can interrupt a connection event with me typing, and if the fifth connection event from the last key comes in sooner than the third one, it knows which of those to use as the connection that we care about. So it's more than anything, it's about writing your effects and your side effects in a way where interruptions don't cause weird things like connecting to your server incorrectly or out of order.
So does that mean that during a React render in concurrent mode, you'll have a slower render because it must have to give up the process loop, so it does some sort of set timeout of some sort, set next tick?
It's using some weird proprietary Chrome stuff that's not fully shared yet, where all events have priority, and Chrome itself is smart enough to deprioritize render events in favor of user-driven events.
So, okay, how does it stop Java? There must be some function or something you call to say, hey, you can now deprioritize me, kind of like saying next tick, because you can't really stop JavaScript running in the middle, right? You have to do something else, right?
Yes. I don't understand any of that stuff well enough. I just do what Dan Abramoff tells me. And what Dan Abramoff tells me to do is to clean everything up regularly. I see people in my chat not fully understanding. I literally said this is a bad example, but it is an example of a render with consequences that is driven by user input. And that's something that the React team is focused on a lot. It's how do we handle a lot of renders happening when users are doing a lot of different things without everything falling apart. And a lot of that is having a direct cleanup and garbage collection, so to speak, relationship with everything you do. So if you have an effect that does a connection, that same effect should have a return that cleans up the connection so that everything is handled correctly.
Okay. I'm just happy. Long as we don't get to actual concurrent JavaScript, imagine how bad true concurrency would be, or parallelism at this point would be. It would be emotional, the amount of code you could potentially swim through trying to figure out what is actually going wrong.
Don't get me
there
started
must be a point
on
that
web
they
worker
can give
stuff.
up. Yeah, exactly. Web workers is a great example where parallelism is really, it's still just really hard, even though it's two separate contexts. Yeah, you get two different isolates, right? V8 isolates, where you're actually
Yep.
running completely unmemoried from each other, and it's still hard because it's
Yep.
it's just like not easy.
I
All
have
right.
seen one really good use case for them though. Have you seen Party Town?
No, is that an NFT?
It's up there with Quick City for terrible named things from Builder.io, as good as they
Okay.
are. The beauty of Party Town is it takes things that shouldn't block, like analytics primarily, and pushes those out from your like point of concern into a web worker. So like if I have Segment or Google Analytics, I can run those in a web worker with a really minimal binding between that and the DOM. So it sends off these annoying tracking events to not be blocking, which is really nice.
Okay, that makes sense. Hold on, I didn't say, hey, Taste the Rambo. I must have missed. I don't know why this event didn't kick off. Thank you, Taste Rambo. Where are you? There you are. Thank you. You're way up there. I appreciate that. I don't know what happened. I didn't hear a thing go off.
Anyways, let's hop back into Next. Now that we've
I'm
seen
already there.
a server-side prop here, we can try and do this the correct type safe way, which they don't make as easy as I would like for them to. There's an infer get server side props helper. I just want to find it quick.
Okay.
Google searching, so I am sure. Infer. Yeah, so there is in Next, there's an infer get server-side props type helper. If we go to the props : any, I don't know if your Vim set up to autocomplete imports as we start typing things.
I can autocomplete, yes.
Cool. So delete any and start typing in capital I infer.
Oh, capital I infer like that.
Infer get server side props type.
That side?
Yep. And then
Are you impressed that my Vim just did it? It says it
Nice.
Can't do it. Something's wrong here. What's the generic?
Now it needs to take so at the end it needs brackets. And in that, we pass it type of get server-side props for our function above.
Oh, nice. Get server-side props. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. You called those brackets, which emotionally hurts me, but I'll let it go.
What do you call them?
They're angle brackets.
Angle
dog.
brackets, sorry. I dropped a word, keeping it simple.
All right. I don't get any autocomplete for that. Props dot. Interesting. What is it saying?
The get server-side props function.
We're doing something wrong.
Oh, I know what it is. This is so stupid. Make the function async.
Really?
Yep.
Is that really it?
Their built-in helpers are that's what it is. Their built-in helpers are shit. So I'm showing you all of this because I want to show you Next at its worst, which is when you use Next.js.
Oh, that hurt me a little bit. I mean, I love that. I love the fact that it is async. It gives you the opportunity to be able to do the things you want to do. But the fact that it's not async and you just get nothing or a never, like.
Yep. The type if you want to look at the infer get server side props type, if you just right click go to def or whatever you do to go to def.
GD.
Yeah.
Go to def.
Some of the stuff in here is a little cursed. They've improved it recently, so I don't want to shit on them too much, and I do appreciate what they're doing. But for a while, this was cast as a record string comma any. It was very scary.
It already looks painful. I'm always at the point where when I look at this stuff, I'm like, I don't quite get it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to be that good at TypeScript.
So yeah, this is the basics of Next. From here, we are now able to do whatever async stuff we need to on our server. We could fetch data from database. We can hit another endpoint, whatever we need to do, get that data, and then that will make it all the way to the component below with a couple weird inference points on the way.
Okay, and so whatever I put inside of here, does that make it down to the client?
Anything that can be JSON serialized. So if we go back to the browser quick and we look at the HTML that went down.
Yeah, hold on. Someone turn off my screen. I'm gonna hold on, everybody. I gotta turn off this screen. We're in the middle of someone teaching me here. Okay, you can't be just turning off my screen. It's no time for shenanigans. Okay, this isn't. All right, there we go.
Cool.
No time for shenanigans.
So back to the Chrome, it's back there. Cool. So if we go back to the source for the page, if we click dgen on the top in the network here.
Yeah. Oh.
This works too, yeah. And scroll to the bottom here. You'll see there is script ID equals next data. This is a script tag that is literally just whatever we returned in the get server side props dumped in as a JSON blob.
I don't see. What do we say? We said subscribe to Theo. I don't see subscribe to Theo.
Is this the? Or you might have to
It's not
refresh
there.
it because we changed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there
Yep,
it is.
there it is.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay. So why did you say this was bad? Besides
See,
for that little like you forgot to do async business. Okay, you learned how to do the async. You learned how to do this magical thing right
this
here.
this assumes you know all of the data your page needs at a page level, not a component level.
Okay. Yes, I can see that. Yeah, you won't know everything at the page level unless if you can somehow hide every single piece of state information from every single component in the URL. Is that what they are kind of going for?
Yes.
Okay. Because I mean, imagine if you're on Netflix and it says URL row 2, column 3,
Yep.
open.
There's also
You're
some
like,
rough
okay.
edges here. So let's add a
Yeah.
rendered at as a prop. So just add rendered at new date.
Rendered at or do I do a date now or new date?
I was just saying new date because that'll default to now. Cool. So now in the component, let's console log and do something with it. So we can props.rendered at dot. Let's do something to it though. Something fun, like format it, like to local
Date
string.
time?
Perfect. Yeah. Do local date string. And it's a function. So call it. Yeah. This looks totally fine and harmless, right?
Yeah.
Let's go check the browser quick.
Oh no, it doesn't do objects, does it? Because it's not as just on serializable, right?
Correct. And what it does is even better. It auto converts it to a string for you. So we get back a string, even though the type definition's for a date time, because that infer date or that infer type helper isn't smart enough to know that the thing stored on the page in JSON is not the same type as the thing that we returned.
And you can't really ever do that, can you?
Yep.
So again, a great place for Rust, right? And you can put a trait on this thing, right? You could put something that says, that I am this certain type of serializable, and then you wouldn't actually get this error ever.
Yep. There's
Okay.
other solutions too. There's a thing called super JSON people are mentioning in chat, which is a superset of JSON that you can have hijack your build. And whenever it sees JSON for page props, it will hijack that, do its own magic thing, and then you get better stuff from it, but you are throwing away JSON in the process. So
I know, and I can't imagine. It's probably JSON is fast, or it's become fast because of super sweet processing techniques in the C++ land, and I assume doing that in the JavaScript land, it better be tight. You better have a very small amount because that sounds very painful.
Yes, it's bad. So this is some of the problems. Another fun one is it looks like right here, get server-side props gets called, and then whatever's there goes straight into foo, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. It actually goes to the document.tsx file, which we don't have, so it provides a default for that. Then it goes to get server-side props once the request has been honored through the document page. Then it goes to the app.tsx file, which conditionally may or may not call your component. So there's a lot of ways in which this request might not actually have props that make it to your page component.
Yeah,
there are
I
like
don't
5
understand
lies
anything you just
encoded
said,
here.
But I think I understand that when it gets you, you're gonna be all rainbows and WTFs for a second, just 9cat across the universe. Okay, sweet. So we have this. So what do I do with all this? Now I got this. I want to build something.
One more piece of Next I want to show you, then we're going to go build things the T3 way. So go up to the pages directory.
Hold on, what's the better way of doing this? If I wanted to send something down, because you said this is the bad way and you avoid this, what is the better way to do this?
The better way is a system where the types are inferred off of the data you're requesting, not off of the name of a function and a bunch of infer helpers. We'll show that in a bit. TRPC is going to be the key here. But I want to show you the one last piece that is necessary to understand how TRPC works and the value of it. So go up to the pages directory. I think it made a folder named API for you automatically. Cool, it did.
Yeah, underscore API.
Yep.
Or this
API, hello.ts. This is the last important piece of what makes Next uniquely magical. You don't just have to return HTML on a Next route. In the API folder in the pages directory, you can do request processing just like you would an Express. So it has a request and a response object that get called with a handler, and you do whatever you would in a traditional Express endpoint. I'm pretty sure it's actually using like the Express definitions under the hood here. So very trivial to drop in stuff. I use this for processing like Webhooks, I use this for forwarding data onto my own servers. So like I will request an image from another service, return it on my service with better cache headers, so it gets cached in our CDN. It's a great way to stub out an endpoint without having to build a backend. You make a file, do whatever you want to in it, and you're good to go.
Okay. So what is this? So API/hello. How would I hit this thing? Right. I should just be able to hit it from a curl command, right?
Yep. Just curl localhost 3000 colon slash or colon slash or
API
slash API slash hello.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's your API route, and this is assumed that I get that sweet request response, so I get to just do something. If I had a database I need to call out, I could call out to the database, do whatever, and then respond to everything back. Okay. I see. I think I understand more of what Next is at this point.
Yes. Most of what Next is what runs on servers. So it gives you these two options. Either you can use a page route that generates HTML and the Next.js app, that React app that runs on top once it hits the client, or you can hop in here, return JSON, return GraphQL, return images, whatever else, anything that you can process via JavaScript, you can usually return in here.
Okay, interesting. Very cool.
Yep. Very FP.
Okay, I think
it lets me build my application as a bunch of functions rather than a ton of deeply nested objects that have weird behaviors that are existing in 500 different files. Here, I have a URL I go to, and I can find that file really quick, and that's my endpoint.
I always appreciated that about PHP. I know everyone. I'm gonna get. Okay, I programmed during IE 7 days. Okay, I never got IE 6, but still, like that's one thing I really liked about PHP is that you could almost guess where everything was at, right? You'd open it up and be like, I have a general idea of where to go in new code bases. I always kind of appreciated that. I mean, in some sense, I like this, but I know that if I was developing any big app, page-based routing would be kind of a pain in the ass. But at the same time, it's really nice if I'm just building something small.
Yep. I find that we're having a massive swing back towards the PHP patterns right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's, I think, for the better. There's a lot of elegance that PHP enabled for us to like write some code, write some HTML. Now the user sees what they need to. That has been lost as we've developed all of these super complex tools. And you'll even see with like the get server-side props example earlier, they're kind of trying to channel that, but the relationship between the function you wrote and the component you wrote isn't quite tight enough for my liking. And generally, I am very much looking to move more in the direction of what PHP enabled for us productivity-wise. I think this is the perfect place for us to transition into how I recommend doing things. So let's hop out of this project.
I have a general idea of how things should effectively run at this point.
Perfect.
So yeah,
let's throw all of that away now.
Yeah. All right. So what do I do?
Oh, cool.
I'm already there.
Yep. Cool. So npx and we want to create T3 app, and you can remove the --ts
because it's assumed at this point. Am I right?
I mean, we do ask. Actually, select JavaScript when we ask. So just press enter. You're good to go now.
Please tell me you just say no.
We'll have to see.
If you don't say no, I'm unfollowing you on Twitter. I want you to know that now. What will your project be called? Theo. JavaScript. Wrong. Nice. Okay, good. Yes, this is beautiful. That's perfect.
Cool.
Okay. I assume TRPC.
Yeah, definitely TRPC. I think Prisma would be worth playing with too, but it's going to make setup a little more long. We'll just do TRPC for now.
Okay, so quick question. I assume this is like a check mark list, right?
Yep.
I just selected. Why didn't I get to select?
Oh, I think you have to press space and then enter when you're done. Bad UI. I'm sure that plenty of the maintainers are looking and will catch that.
I would have literally never pressed space. That is just like not.
That's fair. It does say there.
How would you go forward? I wouldn't even know how to do that. Okay, let's do it again. Theo, TypeScript this time, space. I assume everyone loves Tailwind, right?
Yep. Tailwind's great.
Okay, there we go. I have those two in there. Not that we're actually going to do any Tailwind. I'm just going to show that I'm cool with the kids still.
Damn
All
right.
right.
Got to appeal.
Okay, good. Thank you for doing that. Let's see. Would you like to run npm install? Yeah, why not?
Nice.
Has anyone here in chat, have you guys used T3 app? Tell me about it. What's T3 app like? Come on, let me be cool with the cool kids. It looks like it crashed, but I just assume it's doing a lot of stuff. There we go. All right.
npm doing his thing.
All right, there we go. Let me go back here. I'm going to close down this one, cd into Theo, and npm run dev. There we go. Awesome. Let's close down that thing. And there we go. We're back. Okay, Perfect. We're here.
Let's hop
Awesome.
into, so we do source as our base instead of like just dumping everything in the main because it makes it much clearer
I
where
do
your
like
code
source.
is. Everything
Yeah.
should start there. Cool. We still have pages. If we go into pages, we'll still have an index file, but we have a few different things too. So we'll just start with index.tsx.
Okay, this looks fairly similar.
Cool.
Okay, so this would actually be like the full thing here. Okay.
Yep. So,
So
oh,
this
cool.
just
This is
knows to
using
put
V10
HTML.
now. I didn't know we were using V10 in main. I am very cool with that. So here we have data that's coming from the server above, trpc.example.hello.useQuery. That's actually calling backend code. So if we go to definition on hello,
All right.
here is the backend code that processes that request.
All right. I don't know what is Zod must be something amazing.
Yep, Zod is an input validator. It's a way to validate an input. So if we wanted to make sure the string that we're inputting here is longer than 4 characters, you could do at the end of, after the dot nullish, you could do dot min length, I think. It will autocomplete, I'm sure.
No,
Maybe it has
probably, I assume it's this one.
Yeah, maybe it has to be earlier.
There
yeah,
you
min
go.
length.
Because,
and
you know,
you
it'd
can
be the
pass it.
string. So I could do something like that,
Yep.
right?
And now it will error if the length isn't long enough before it even runs our query. So we're able to validate all right there through a definition that it can infer a type from and also prevent our code from running unless the validation criteria has been met.
Interesting. Here, hold on one second. Yes, beautiful wife? JC said he's going to be here in a while. I don't know.
I'm hyped on this.
He hasn't responded. I sent him like several messages.
How you guys feeling so far about this? This is quite the collab. He's pulling like 1,100 viewers right now. That's nuts. I also can't help but notice on YouTube, I have an insane number of viewers and a disappointingly low number of likes. So YouTube friends, make sure you hit that like button. It's free.
There you go. I've retexted him. I'll let you know. I'll text you in 5 minutes. He hasn't. I called him and texted him. I haven't had any. So I just have no idea. All I know is he's picking me up. Bye. Sorry, my wife. I'm gonna go shoot some pheasants. Well, I'm gonna actually probably go miss some pheasants. The rest of my family is gonna actually hit the pheasants.
Relatable. I haven't went shooting in a while.
Yeah, I do enjoy it, but let's see. All right, perfect. Hold on, now I gotta tell my wife. I told her I'd let her know the moment I knew.
Ready for some hilarious numbers right now? I'm hitting 400 views on Twitch and 650 on YouTube.
Nice, you're winning the YouTube.
It's all the YouTube guys.
Hey, 345. 345.
Guys, I come from a farm town. How are you losing your mind to that? Like, I grew up where there was more cows than people. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize he could hear me still. Oops. You joined because of the Twitch notification, but you came here. That's a first, Aaron. Good to know. Yeah. YouTube gang, rise up. If you really want me to move over to YouTube, guys, all you have to do is start subscribing on YouTube because all my subscribers are still on Twitch. It's actually a much smaller number. Cooper with the constant gifts. God damn it, man. I owe all of you guys shout outs in a bit. Thank you all so much. I promise I'll thank all of you after this.
None of my events are going off, which is so strange. I don't have a single event that's been going off. Something must be wrong. Hey, yep, I also have been getting a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry for everybody that I haven't responded to. I will write you personal messages, including TJ. I'll write personal messages too. Personal. By the way, yeah, I'm actually having the craziest time ever too. I have almost 1,200 on Twitch.
Yeah, this is nuts. Turns out people like when we talk to each other. Weird.
I know. We should just upload more bathroom photos. I think that's really the win here.
That is the key. Good thing we have plans for NextJSConf.
All right. Have you ever written any Rust?
Very, very little. I tried doing one of the Advent of Code problems in it and wanted to die.
All right. How about this one? When Advent of Code comes out, we'll do Prime Teaches Theo Rust.
I am very down.
You can send me fleet pics. I'll send you Rust knowledge.
Can we find some way to do community versus community for mine versus yours, Rust versus... It doesn't have to be Rust versus TypeScript, but like Primeagen degens versus Theo degens for Advent of Code. I want to see whose community gets a higher score on average.
Deal. So I like this. I like this idea. How do we contain? How do we have like? Because you can do your own custom leaderboards. How do we put them together so that we know who's in whose? I guess we'll
I
just
think we'll have to
right?
have 3 leaderboards. One that like everybody chooses to be part of, that's like the intersection one, and then we have 2 where you pick which one you want to be on for which team, and then at the end we sum up those 2 boards and then compare against the main.
Okay, yeah, okay, I like it. Well, how about this one? We'll take your top 5 plus my top 5. Whoever has the highest score wins.
Let's do it.
Okay, and then follow-up question. Follow-up. What's the bet?
Shit.
You got to have a bet. I'm willing to. How about this one? I'll put 1 week of VS Code on the line. Now, here's the problem: is you got to put something that's going to hurt you, because we want our viewers not to just troll us, right? They want it so that they do want you to lose. Because right now, 1 week of VS Code, my whole chat just said I'm throwing it. Look at that.
I'll wear a t-shirt and a hoodie for 2 streams. I'll wear a t-shirt and a hoodie for 2 streams. That's a high offer.
A t-shirt and a hoodie for 2 streams?
Yeah.
But that means I'd do VS Code for 2 streams.
2 streams for me is 2 weeks. You said 1 week. I said 2.
It's still like what?
Fine.
How many hours? How many hours are we really talking here?
Fine.
All
Not
right.
even close. Guys, do you know how insecure I am when I'm not wearing a nice shirt? Theo, grow a mustache. Guys, Movember's already happening.
He's actually, you don't notice that he's growing a mustache right now?
Yeah, clearly. Haven't shaved in like 2 months.
All right. I will use VS Code for 2 streams if you use hoodie and headphones over the hoodie.
Works for me.
But you don't like that, right? That
No,
bothers your ears, doesn't it?
I'll just take out my earrings. I can survive.
Okay. Because I don't want to cause
No,
VS Code causes emotional discomfort.
I
It's
picked
not
something
physical
that is
discomfort.
emotionally discomforting but physically fine.
Okay, yes, because same here. VS Code is emotionally discomforting, but it's not like I'm gonna leave it. Actually, I might leave it. I might have to go on Healthy Gamer afterwards and talk about my emotional damage.
Just go on Healthy Gamer to talk about VS Code.
I gotta get coached out of that hole. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, so now we have this VS Code. I don't like the input lag. I can feel every keystroke, and it gets me. Anyways, all right. So there we go. We have all this stuff. And all right, so what am I looking at? Because there's a lot more here than there was on the other one. Can we start with like a fresh slate or a little bit more of a cleaner slate like we did with Degens?
Just delete everything between the open paren and the closed paren and the return. And everything below export default home is fine too. Yeah,
like that?
Just return a div in the return so it stops complaining.
All right, can I just div that?
Yep.
All right, and what is it? Div. Okay, good.
Rad.
Awesome.
Nice and simple.
Okay, do you do like something like this? How do you tell it to use hello? Do I do that?
Just like that. So hello's not going to have, it's an object, so it's going to complain. So hello dot will have things on it. It'll be data.
There's a lot of things on here.
Yep. So start typing data dot, and this will autocomplete for the other things it has. And since data might not exist yet because this is fetching on client side initially, then it doesn't necessarily know.
And that's because you put nullish right here?
No, so that's for the input, not the output. The reason it's nullable is because this isn't running on server. It is generating an empty page on server with all the React bindings, and then on the client, it is fetching the data.
All right, how does it... Oh, and data must be... Okay, so that means data, this isn't yours. This is from some other object. So that's not based off the return here. That's based on some sort of definition.
It's based on React Query. Are you familiar with React Query?
No.
React Query
but I get the general idea here.
Yeah, so React Query is magical. Generally speaking, it is 2 hooks, a use query and a use mutation hook, that you pass a promise, and it gives you back caching, loading state, error state, and the data if it's like been ran. So you can pass it. In this case, imagine that when we type the trpc.example.hello, it is generating a hook use query that has an async promise that fetches /API/trpc/example/hello with whatever input we put at the end there.
So let's see, does that mean it's using some sort of proxy or whatever at the bottom because it's doing this generation?
Yes.
There's a proxy somewhere in all of this that's happening?
Yes. It lives in 2 places.
Very cool.
On one side, it lives in React, where when we type out that object, that's just TypeScript strings underneath. and those get compiled into the actual string that's called to the right endpoint. And if we go into the pages/API directory,
Oh, pages/API.
API, there's trpc, trpc.ts. This is the endpoint that actually processes all of the TRPC requests we make.
Okay, what is these brackets all
The
about?
brackets are a catch-all, which means anything that happens in this route will be passed in as the variable named TRPC. So if we were to do another page like /user/ and had brackets wrapping id.tsx, then on that page, when we call get server-side props, it'll have ID as like a query param.
Okay. I'm getting a little lost now because
Okay, are you familiar with
pretty.
Are you familiar with route parameters? The idea, like in a URL, you can have like an arbitrary number or string in it. So like /ID/ some nonsense /profile.
Yeah. I know how URIs work. I'm good with those.
The brackets are just the syntax in file-based routing to define a variable that is accessible as a route path.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that means. All right. I think let me reset it to you. So in API/TRPC/foo, foo would be something in here is getting passed in the word foo. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those inputs are those inputs in the case of TRPC are the different functions that you're going to call. So in this case, it'd be example.hello is being called with the input we have here.
Okay, it's being called with this thing right here.
Yes. So if we go back to the definition of this, so go to the example.hello, just go to def on hello. If we change text to be message on the input line.
This one?
I was going to change it in the one here first so that it's a different key. Yeah. And we'll see we have an error there. But more importantly, go back to the HTML or the client side. We'll have an error here because the input for this thing changed. Even though this is client-side code and the other thing is server-side code, it handles that correctly.
I do very much so enjoy good solid type definitions. I like that. That's very convenient.
This whole stack, at least the T3 side of it, is focused 100% on full stack type safety. Another thing we can do here, just as we ran into this problem before, change message back to text just so that it stops complaining everywhere.
Yep.
Let's add another key to the return of fetched at or rendered at, something like that.
Rendered at new date. This guy.
And now if we go back to the client side, we can console log, do something with it, and it'll be fine.
Oopsies. That's console log hello dot data dot rendered at, right?
Yep, and we can do something to it too, like to local date time, just something that won't be valid on a string.
Yep, that's what we did last time.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so we did that. Wait,
we don't have /dgen. That page doesn't exist. Just change the URL to be the.
Yep, that's right.
Yep. And now it's able to fetch that, and we can see in the console there that it ran.
So how does that work? How does it know to send across a date?
We wrap the TRPC implementation with SuperJSON because we know all of the inputs and outputs of this one piece, which is the TRPC API. And by condensing the SuperJSON usage to just this one thing that you can only access through this one client, it's much safer. It's closer to like how gRPC works, funny enough, in that the client and the server share this understanding of the world, the understanding being both sides use SuperJSON.
Yep. Okay. Difference being is that gRPC uses a proper encoding format.
Yep. SuperJSON is a made-up encoding format that happens to be very useful for these use cases. Did we just get a Dr. K raid?
Oh, we did?
I think you might have,
I didn't know that we got that. Did we? Yeah. Sorry, I have notifications off, so I'm not actually listening. Oh, my goodness. You didn't have to do that. Dr. K, you did not have to do that. Dang. Oh, man, I appreciate that. For those that don't know, definitely check out Dr. K. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Whoever did the shout-out, thank you. Dr. K is awesome. Shockingly enough, I don't know how this has happened. I don't know what weird reality we accidentally glitched out, but I do feel like whenever I listen to Dr. K, I just feel like a lot of it, even though we've come from very different worlds, very different, it seems like very different raisings, how we formulated our opinions and all that, they are fairly close to each other. And so it's really cool. I really like that. I'm very happy. I've been listening to his show for the last few days. I like the advice. I love the advice on it's usually what's it called? Comparison's the thief of joy. Said something along those lines, right? I really like that. I think it's really, really good. And I think especially on Twitch, holy cow, there's just so much need. I don't even know how anyone who's 18 to 24-year-olds honestly does it. My 18-year-old experience was so much easier. It has to be literally 1,000 times harder. And I just don't understand it. So I love it. I love what you do. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Obviously, all of the same goes for me. I've been a long time Healthy Gamer fan, especially back when I was working at Twitch. It was so cool seeing Twitch take mental health more seriously as a result of the work that was being done by Healthy Gamer and Dr. K. Yeah, appreciate y'all immensely.
Nice. Thanks, Shy. Yeah, Shy Ryan. I made a silly YouTube where I just pulled out something that I think Dr. K does really good, which is making more room for people to speak. I'm very good at speaking a lot, and I realized that I should probably just take a step back and just be like, hey, what do you think? What do you think about this? Because I don't consent for dissent enough. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. Hello, everybody. We're talking about programming for those that are all brand new here. We're doing a lot of programming. We're doing some front end. I don't do front end. So Theo right here is teaching me how to do Next.JS. Next.JS, very fancy framework. Does back end, looks like it's connected to front end. And then now he's also showing me the T3 stack, which is his own kind of personalized, in which the community has taken over and massaged a little bit. Is that fair to say?
Yes, absolutely. I said it would be really cool if Next did these like 3 or 4 things differently. And the community was like, yeah, we agree. Let's go fix that. And then they did.
Okay. So for those that don't know, this is what we're doing. We're talking about that. Theo, anything you want to introduce yourself? Theo, right here. I'm going to give him a shout out.
Used to work at Twitch. I love talking all things software dev, make it easy for creators to do collabs. We're using some tech I actually helped build at ping.gg, make it easier to do live collabs just like this. That's why I'm coming in so sharp on his stream.
Yeah. This is not, by the way, we are not currently using Guest Star. This is actually his product right here. It's fast. And I'm not going to open up the embed right here because I don't want you to see it. But if I were to open up the embed right here and have his video right here, they would actually be talking in unison.
Yeah, the sync is nuts. I'm really proud of our latency. We're doing some fun edge routing stuff to make all that possible. So you're not trying out the new shoutout command, the /shoutout?
Someone already did it. Someone already did this
nice.
/shoutout. By the way, you have a question right here. What position at Twitch did you do?
I was a software engineer on a bunch of different stuff. I helped write the code for the original Bob Ross marathons. I wrote a lot of the code for internal and external safety tools, marathon stuff. I wrote the prototype that eventually became, what's the watch parties? Sorry about that. Yeah,
the worst feature of all time.
I didn't know that the Hacky Chrome extension I was building was going to become like a 40-person team. And yeah, then I ended up working on safety, built ModView, really proud of what we built there. And eventually ended up going to hang out on the creator team building Twitch Studio and the dashboard. It was a bit of a mess, so I eventually gave up and started building tools on my own.
Yeah, ModView is both nice and terrible all at the exact same time. Like the best part, like we already talked about at TwitchCon, where's ModView? Checkmate, Twitch. Where's ModView on my streamer page?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to know. I need to mod something really quickly. Too bad.
I actually put a lot of work into pulling all of the ModView components into the dashboard so you can add them manually, but nobody ever does. So it was like a lot of work for nothing.
Oh, gosh. For those that don't know, here we'll go to twitch.tv/thehealthygamer or healthygamergg. I'm so glad they took off hosting. I hate hosting. Go ahead and watch today's or yesterday's. Let's see. Was this yesterday's or was this more than yesterday's? Oh, yes. Okay. So this was yesterday. I really liked. There's a great part about jealousy and comparison and thief of joy and all that stuff in there. I think it's super relevant. It really addresses imposter syndrome. Very, very good, because I can tell you that a lot of devs out there have imposter syndrome, and I'm always blown away by it because they're talented. And I'm like, why do you think this of yourself? Like, what are you doing to cause this to happen?
Also, just saw Acorn rated me on my side. Huge shout out. Love you a ton. Thank you for the support as always. If you're still here, if not, I will shout you out on Twitter anyways later. Y'all are the best.
All right, we're gonna field one more question, then let's jump back in. All right, Primeagen, I got a question. We can both answer this one. How do you find ideas besides work to work on? Personally, I find it quite hard to find a project and stick with it till it's finished. One, I don't finish projects, side projects, right? I don't feel the need that I have to fix it, right? I think that is an unfortunate side effect of our field, is that you feel like there's some point that, okay, I'm finally done. I really don't actually finish side projects. Some I actually do finish. I know, besides for what this guy's saying. I do side projects because I'm curious. I want to learn something. I want to have something like kind of gained from it. And and sometimes it's just removing something that's super annoying in my dev life. And so it's okay. I don't go in there thinking I'm going to change the world or try to build the most complex thing. Try to set the ball bound small, build something, enjoy it. Once I stop enjoying it, I just move on, or else I get burnt out. Because the moment I make it into work, then I have work plus more work, and I hate what I'm doing, then I hate what I'm doing, and then I just fall apart completely.
Yeah.
You want to go, Theo?
And not too different answer. Solve problems that you have, not problems that you think someone else might have. Like, it's a lot easier to know you have a solution if it's a problem that you have. If the solution works, cool. You can smile and be done. And you don't have, like, it's a lot easier to know when to be done with something when it's solving a problem you have. And if you stop having that problem or the solution works well enough, you can stop at that point. But if you're just out there like, what if Twitter was better? That's not going to get you anywhere.
Plus, it just starts to suck, right? Once you get to that certain part where you're really making Twitter, it's hard. It's really hard. You're doing a startup right now. There's a point where it's like, it's not fun. It's now work. And if you're not getting paid and it's not making money, it's like, it's just devastating sometimes.
I barely get to write code for my job anymore. Like, that's the thing that they don't tell you is the more successful you are, the less you get to work on the thing. So
yeah. Thanks for all the follows, by the way. Really appreciate that. All right. So I know nothing about the front end. Theo's teaching me front end.
Cool.
I forgot where we are. So we just got done printing out this thing. You're using that super JSON, which is somehow hydrating objects. I'm very curious how that actually works, especially with, does it work with custom classes?
I would assume it does for properties, but not for functions. They have a list of the things that it passes on like their repo.
All right, hold on. Nombre. That's Spanish.
So this would have to be in wherever. Oh yeah, you are in the right place. Cool. I'm very curious what this does.
Come on, Theo. I'm somewhat of a quick learner, Theo.
I didn't see how fast you changed between files so fast. I couldn't tell.
Thank you. Did I call it yes? Yes, I did. Oh, look at that. Can't do that.
That it knows.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Does that actually work?
69. Oh, no, it did print 69. Hi-oh! I didn't see that one coming. That was pretty cool. Okay, awesome. But that was in the constructor. So can I do one more test? I'm going to turn this into a bangable property here and go set foo num number or num. There we go. And let's go. Oh, wait. I don't have a place to actually run
call
this,
it on the client. So we pass it.
Well, because I want to set some. Oh, I got an idea. This is a capital this or is it lowercase this? Yeah. Return this. All right. There we go. And let's go like this. Set foo 69. Okay. This is a pretty big test here. Let's see if this works out. All right. Sorry, this bothers me. Boop. Let's go back here, and that all looks good. All right. I don't know how that works. That's pretty neat. I'm a fan. I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't know it would do this. I honestly had no idea. Good shit.
You haven't tried that yet? It just seems so curious.
I have not written a class in 3 years. I'm clean.
Okay, you're clean? You've been clean? You've been off the streets for 3 years now?
Classes are for the library maintainers to write and not tell me about, because when they tell me too much about them, I stop using their libraries.
Oh, my goodness. But never mind. It's okay. Can you turn on keylogger? Yeah, we can turn on keylogger. Screen key. There you go. They want to see the speed. But I'm sitting right here, so I'm kind of ruining it. You know what I mean? I'm sitting in betwixt the keylogger. Here, hold on one second. Vim, which screen key? There we go. I think that should be good. Sort of good. Good enough, I guess. All right.
Cool. Looks fine.
All right. So what are we doing next? Teach me something. How do I do props?
How do you do props?
Server-side props. Yeah, there's that server-side prop business.
If you want properties to come from the server, make an endpoint and call them using TRPC. If we want them to be there by default, we can SSR. I think we have SSR off by default, but we can turn it on in the app file. So pages/_app.
Oh, I don't have anything in my pages/_app.
Yeah. in here, the with TRPC, I think that takes a second option after. So like my app comma, that takes an object config. I'm almost positive. So open,
It
close,
looks like it
object.
only takes one thing. It only takes one thing. It takes next
Oh,
component.
does it really not?
Maybe
Maybe
let's just see.
it's,
Maybe there's an overloading that I don't see.
does not appear there is. Any of the smarter TRPC v10 folks? Oh, Next mentioned that they changed it. Cool. Where do we turn on SSR now in v10? Somebody want to tell me quick so I don't have to go stumble around Google for it? It's, source utils TRPC. So if we go to def on TRPC.
Source utils. Go to where?
Go to definition on TRPC itself. Cool. Yeah. In here, nice. So SSR is false. We can change the SSR false to SSR true.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. And then one more quick question. Well, since we're going to do this, teach me. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go out here. I'm going to echo hello, Theo. Actually, I'm going to echo hello, subscribe to Theo. There we go. And I got to escape these. Hold on, I got to escape them. And I'm going to put that in, let's see, into temp Theo. There we go. So I have this nice file, cat temp Theo. And let's pretend this is like a backend service. I want to read this file and pipe that to the client.
Let's do it.
You want to walk me through that?
Absolutely. Let's hop back to the page we want it on first. So we'll just start on
what is that
pages,
one? It's under
source
pages.
/ pages index. Cool.
Okay.
So what we're probably going to want to do is build a new TRPC endpoint. So we can go to on the example and create a new procedure here. So we have example router. We can go to that and just add to there for now.
All right.
Cool. So we want to create a new procedure. So make a new line. We'll name this perfect. Public procedure is a custom definition that we made for a procedure in another file. Procedures are the base unit in TRPC v10, where it's a thing that has an input and does something. So first we have to define the input. So actually, we don't even have to if it's no input. We can, I think, just type .query.
Okay, yeah. Let's not do any validation or anything.
Perfect.
So query takes in a function, right?
Yep. And we were going to want this to be an async function. So just put async in front of the def there. Cool. And then await, or I guess we should put it somewhere. So const contents equals await fs, see if it will import properly.
Oh, there's I have never really got fs to import properly because it always wants to. There's too much here. Import fs from. There's too many things named fs.
Yeah. I think there's a separate fs promises too. I don't read from file system too often anymore.
Yeah. There is. Oopsies. Oh my goodness. Const fs. Oh, you can actually import it as
fs / promises. Yep.
I've never had a very good experience doing that. Anyways, let's see. Read file and then temp Theo. Right. Okay. Good. You like that little file autocomplete right there?
Nice.
Do you like that?
Fancy. Yep.
Can't
and then
VS
we can
Code do that. Checkmate atheist. All right. What do we do here?
We're going to want to parse contents. So
do we need to? Okay, we can. Why not? Let's parse that.
Cool. And we can just return.
Oh, yes. It doesn't like it because when you do that, you have to do toString, right?
I think so. Yes.
And to do a toString, you have to get those things correctly. There we go. All right, we got them.
Yeah, and we just return contents. Just drop it in the object.
Or
just return it as is.
All right, hold on. Let's see if I got this. Oh, no. Do I not? Oh, I don't have it on this computer. Dang it. Okay, never mind.
Cool.
There we go. Perfect.
Works for me. Cool. Let's go see if the procedure works. Hop back to the client.
The client, let's see. Oh my goodness. Pages. I didn't mark it like a noob.
Nice.
All right, there you go.
Cool. Let's just copy the fifth line, the one that we're on above. Make a new version of it. Change hello Theo. Change .example.hello to example.theo. You can kill the input there because it's not needed.
There we go. Like that.
Console log
and
Theo. See what happens.
Let's see. Hello. Oh gosh, I put a little $sign there. Data. And let's go.
It's going to be, so we don't know what it is yet. The JSON string is probably the safest solution there. Perfect.
There we go.
Let's see what happens.
All right. Well, look at that. We just did it. That was pretty cool. That was pretty easy. That was actually shockingly easy.
Yep. This is what I love about TRPC is it makes it very, very cheap to write the right function and have that for your client. It's super, super cheap to just write another function on your backend because it's 2 lines. You call your procedure, you give it a query or a mutation, and that's an async function, and you're done. And in the end, this is my goal with the systems I build and the like code bases I maintain. So I want it to be as easy as possible for a developer to do the right thing for the problem they have.
Yeah, that was actually. I mean, it was very easy. I'm a little surprised at how nice that was. That was good.
Yep.
I like it. If I were to be building full stack JavaScript, I think I would probably end up using something along these lines. Now, what is the major points you disagree with on Next.js, especially as I'm about to go to the conference?
So
I gotta be somewhat intelligible here.
the big thing that there's like 3 different levels of where do you get your data when you're building modern web applications. The first one is page level. So we know this page exists. This page theoretically knows all the data everything needs. So let's at the page level get all the data. There's the new remix style, which is route level, which is every route, so every part of your URL. So /user gets data, /ID gets data, /profile after gets more data. And each of those layers can fetch in parallel. And then there is what we're doing now at TRPC with SSR, which is component level, where we don't really know what data a component needs until that component has been rendered. So if we can do a first pass through your app where we render all your components with no data, we figure out what data is needed, and then we fetch all of that at once. It lets us have a single fetch batched with all the data you need.
Is there a problem with like the n+1 fetching on that? Because if your components render components in which need data, but your component doesn't know what it needs to render until it gets data, wouldn't it get data?
The waterfalling will still happen on the client for things that are not blocking. So if you have like a friends list and you have to fetch your friends like list, which is just the IDs for the users you're friends with, and then each of those renders a component that fetches its own data, yeah, that's still going to have to be on a second batch. TRPC's Next.js implementation is smart enough that it will batch all per render. So if we have one render where it fetches my friends list and renders the list with all of my friends in it, we would have another render where each of those friend items, even if each one has its own hook that it's calling, those will be done in one batch. Generally, I would advise getting all the data you need slightly higher up because of the power that gives you. And something you asked earlier about like passing props, we don't do it the traditional way with TRPC and React Query because you can fetch data wherever. But let's say we had like 15 elements and we wanted a subcomponent to be passed those props. There are some really cool tricks for doing that. So hop back to the code for a second. I want to show you something.
All right, I'm here.
Cool. So let's say we wanted to pass theo.data is not going to be a great example because it's not strongly typed. But yeah, let's change it back from example.theo to example.hello quick, just so that we have data that we know the shape of. Cool. Let's make a new component, just const demo or something. And we want this
to type it or just go.
Yeah, that's arrow.
Is this what the cool kids
cool.
do?
Yep. This is what the cool kids do now. But
okay,
we
cool.
want the data from.
Hold on. Am I cool? Let's just do a quick manage poll. Let's do a new poll. Am I cool? Yes. No. I think this is good. This is scientific research here, people. Let's go.
Perfect.
All right. Anyways, okay, we got this. What am I doing here?
We want to pass whatever we got from the thing above here, but we don't know what the type is necessarily. We want this to be able to change dynamically. So let's do props : we have to give these props a type of some form. We have with TRPC, we're not going to use return type. We're going to use TRPC's infer. So if we type lowercase infer, I think this will come up automatically. It should. Infer query.
From Zod?
No, infer query. We might have named it something else. I haven't used the... No, we have not. Cool. Go to definition on TRPC quick.
All right.
Just want to see what we have it named right now. Scroll to the bottom of this guy. Oh, we didn't put it here. Y'all, create T3 app team. Where do we put the infer helpers?
Help.
Maybe app router. If we go to the app router type above.
App router? Or what? Oh, is it in here?
It was in the TRPC file. It was imported. So the magic of how the TRPC inference works is we're only importing type here, which means we can run that code on client because all the types coming from the server die.
Yeah.
Yep. Infer procedure output is what we should be using. Okay, cool. So go back to the client file and just see if that will work. Just type infer
Harpoon.
capital P procedure.
Infer, like this one,
Yeah,
infer
procedure.
procedure.
Cool.
Okay,
Infer
input,
procedure output. Down one more.
output.
That's us. Nice.
Okay, and what do
Cool.
I put here?
This, I believe you can.
I assume it's a generic, right?
Yeah, I think we just passed the
Oh, I
string
can't
to
find it. Hold on here. Let's see. Which one is it? TRP server? Yeah, probably TRP server. And then this one is, what's the? Yeah, there. I assume there is a generic here, right?
Yeah. I haven't used the V10 version yet, so I am just quickly checking the new docs to see what the right way to do this is.
There's definitely an inference here. I just don't, or a generic here.
Yep.
What is?
We passed it app router. So capital A app router.
This guy?
Yep.
From here. All right.
Cool. And then that takes a string.
Why is it a lowercase I?
Because it's not a type. It's a helper for a type. Generally, things that are a type already, we put a capital letter. Things that aren't yet, but are a helper to help us get to a type, we use a lowercase.
Okay.
Cool. So app
I
router.
gave you the Robert De Niro, by the way.
You can
All
put
right, anyways.
Brackets after to select things off it. Because right now we're just selecting the whole app router, but we want examples.hello. We want that input. So if we do brackets, we can put not arrow brackets, square brackets.
Oh, square brackets.
Yep. And here, if we do a string, it should auto-complete it for us. Example. Yep. And then we do one more for hello.
Like a comma delimited?
No, it's after. Because this is, we've now selected the example, so we have to do those in brackets after.
It's an object. Yes. So we can do hello.
Yep.
Okay,
and now that is the type of what that procedure returns.
Okay. And so that means props.yes, which is a foo, rendered at, which is a date. And how smug are you feeling right now? Well, on a level
honestly,
of 0 to smug.
Not very smug. I'm a little annoyed that this is harder to do than it used to be. Because it used to be infer query output, and you just start typing the string and be done. There are too many characters involved in this now, and I will be talking to the TRPC team on how to simplify this in the future, actually. So I'm not feeling smug. I'm feeling slightly annoyed. But this is the bar we have set for ourselves.
So yeah, the problem, if you have no prior knowledge.
Yes, it's still so much better than anything before. But since the query key system has been kind of destroyed, things got a little more complex. But it's worth it for the benefits. But yeah, in here we can do div props dot whatever, and it'll be fine.
Try to do that, and then I do the old props dot. Let's do what is it? Greetings.
Yep.
Greetings. There we go. So we have that, and that means we'd go hello. Let's call this thing world. Can I do that?
Yep. And if you don't pass it,
it's
props.
Missing something.
Yep. So what I would do here is, rather than props equals, I would just do the curly brackets and then triple dot dump hello.data.
I want you to know right now, you shouldn't be able to spread something that could be undefined.
Yeah, so since it can't be undefined, what we want to do above is do a loading condition for if we don't have it or something else. So if no hello.data, return something else.
Ah, I see. So, what is going on with my indenting because of this? Hold on one second. That was weird. Let's just go like that. Where's my indenting at? It's like tree shitter just fell apart. All right, so if, what is it? Hello.data.
So just if no hello.data, return something else is what I usually do.
Okay.
If no hello.data, return div is loading.
I am sad.
That works too. And now we know it exists, so we should be able to paste it in here.
Why copy? Quick question. Why are you copying?
Why am I what?
Copying.
Once more?
Copying.
Copy?
COPY.
Yeah, what about copy?
Well, you're spreading all these goodnesses all over the place.
Yeah, I love for these things to be accessible and easy, and I do a lot of copying and a lot of pasting.
Oh no, but why not props equals data dot or hello dot data? Because now you didn't I didn't copy it, or I guess props isn't the right thing. I don't know what you passed into this thing.
The reason
because it's
see. JSX is stupid.
I now see what's happening here. This is actually doing yes equal. I assume this gets transported or translated into something that looks like yes equals hello dot yes.
Yep, exactly.
I'm hoping that's what actually happens.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. So The problem is we can't just blind pass a value to props and it knows the right thing. There's been multiple proposals in JSX v2, which will never ship for lots of reasons. So this is what we
like
deal with
IPv5.
instead. The other thing you could do is you could wrap the props colon like infer with an object and have data colon infer procedure output. So you have to pass hello.data to a specific keyed thing. But the JSX does not allow us to blindly hand it a thing and then give it the right key. The triple dot dump is the closest thing we have.
Okay. What is there a way I can view what that actually gets transpiled to? Because I am actually very curious. Is there do I get like a dist folder somewhere?
We can if we npm run build quick. So
npm run build. I assume I'll still get capital W world somewhere in here.
Yes.
Failed.
What's this mad about?
Ops.
Oh.
Unnecessary semicolon. Oof. Oof. Is that ESLint? Router. What is that one? Router example.
Yeah, what's it mad about in here?
Let me see. It's on line 29. Oh, there is an unnecessary colon. I will accept that. That was my fault. And then what's the other one? Empty constructor. Yep, that was I was just playing around. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You and your chaos.
Dude, it's just I'm stream braining here, okay? There's not a lot going on.
Also, shout out Lee Rob. I see you in chat. Good to have you here, man. One of like the OG Next.js Vercel folks is here learning a lot, mostly about Vim.
Oh, nice. I am very fast at Vim. Let's see. I am not cool. Look at that.
Closer than I thought.
53% of the time. I'm actually, you know what? Wait, hey, people, don't kiss my ass. That should have been literally 420 not cools and 0 yeses, right? Yeah, just let it happen. You don't ever treat me well. That's ridiculous. It's Theo Cooler. See, that's hard because then chat has to decide who do they want to troll more, Theo or me?
Yeah, we're both easy targets, so that's tough.
And I accept all forms of it.
I just broke 750 concurrent viewers on the YouTube, by the way. This is nuts.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Dang, that's huge. All right, so there we go. We have all this stuff. It looks like it's in, I don't know where it went. So can I just RG world? Whoopsies, that's world. Oh, is it minified? No, it is not. It is right here. That's the server. Oh, I bet you are RG here. Grep R. Can I do that? That is way too much. What's something I say in here? What's a good one I can do? Hold on. How about example hello? There we go. I can just look for that.
That actually might be harder. That all gets compiled out. I'm curious how that gets compiled out, though. I don't know I don't understand the magic behind TRPC v10, so I'm curious if we find that.
Does anyone from your chat know how these things work? All right, let's see. I got
cool.
next. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's right there. Okay. So let's just keep on looking for a second. I'm very curious.
Children, hello.
Greetings. Hold on. Let's see. What did we? I am sad. So we see the I am sad. So props doc greeting, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
What we're looking for is right above the I am
this
sad.
This one, end doc reading.
Children, end doc reading. Div children. No, that's one level too low. So it would be the condition after.
It's this one.
Yes, that would be it. What is passing? I can't see. I'm covering myself where.
Oh. It's shockingly not that crazy. Sorry, I just get really curious about how these things work.
Well, I need to hide myself.
Let's see. So it obviously passes some JSX magicalness, right? Some sort of context. Then it passes some sort of
end.data. So what it's doing there is
this must be a merge.
It is calling the function with end.data because that's where all of the props are in this case. What could
I
make
assume it's merging it into this right here, right? That's what's actually happening.
So that'll make it a little easier to see. Go back to the code quick. Let's add we're going to add one more key to world. So add one more where it's actually mounted just after the curly bracket closes.
Oh,
that's something equals whatever. Yeah, foo equals. Perfect. That's going to be wrapped. But
we can't do that.
It's going to complain. Who cares?
No, here we go. And foo 69.
Perfect.
Look at that. It's so specific. It nails it. See,
well,
I'm not terrible at front end.
Guys, the audio is out of sync because I'm getting a return feed with myself on it. Sorry, guys. There we go.
All right.
Solved.
There it is. All right, so there is this thing.
Cool. T equals. God, I do not understand compile JSX output anymore is what I'm realizing from this.
I think there's a merge. So I think what's happening right here is this is being called, I think that's literally taking data and spreading it into this object.
That I think makes sense. Yeah. So it starts with like an empty object, it merges our data in, it sets the key foo69 in that as well, grabs own properties to know what it's actually working with, and then dumps that in after.
Yeah, I think that's right. That seems correct-ish in my head. Interesting. Crazy. They should oh man, there's so many sweet things you could do. I'm finding that object pooling is insane. And in these type of, like when libraries control the data flow and they know how long something live, like the amount of performance you can gain by object pooling is nuts. Anyways, very, very excited. Called it merge. Yeah, it's a merge. Very, very interesting. I like looking at those things. I like to take the time to look at them because you just don't get that. I mean, you don't know what you don't know until you look at it.
Yep, absolutely. I am very pumped with this setup overall. Since I'm overlaying myself on my end, I can't set it up so that you're like on your stream, you're green screening over me, but on mine, I can't.
Yeah. I hope my head's just going whoop and just disappearing behind you.
Damn right.
Awesome. I haven't seen Prime before this, so what are some things I should know from the get-go? I use Vim.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to know.
I've been called by a very famous internet person with whom develops very sweet things, a leech. I've never completed a project, and I have never contributed back to the broader web community. No, not Fireship. Fireship is the man. Fireship just recently, he featured me again. Oh, look at that. The guy's nicer to me than I am to him. All right, this was awesome. Theo, this was sweet. I assume you're going to keep on keeping on being awesome, right?
That's the plan. Yeah, I'm down to stay live for a little bit longer. I am very behind on the content machine. I have like 3 uploads left before my pipe is empty, and daily uploads is a grind. So hopefully we can squeeze 2 or so videos out of this one, and I can get some more for the next hour or 2.
You know what? I have 4 children, so I know all about the pipe being empty.
Damn right. Gotta make things work for as long as you can. 1,367 people. I guess people were really excited about this one, huh?
I think so. Got him. All right, there you go. Look at that. I just gave you a short. Now you got a short. Look at that. I did that for you.
The content machine never ends.
Just never ends. All right. You dog. You're a dog. Hey, but I really do appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to teach me about Next.js. For those that haven't followed, hey, give me a follow. For those that haven't followed Theo, give him a follow. If you haven't followed him on YouTube, give him a follow on YouTube. And if you haven't followed me on YouTube, well, you know what to do.
Thank you all again so much. This is an awesome thing.
By the way, how many likes do you have on your video right now versus viewers?
617 versus 680 viewers, so not too bad. But still, if you, for some reason, have not liked this on YouTube, please do so the algorithm knows what we're doing. We're going to keep talking Next.js, so don't leave just yet. We got a lot of cool things to talk about.
Yeah, you're about to talk. Are you talking anything about your upcoming talk for Next.JS?
I will leak some details. We covered a lot of the parts here, but I'm very excited to talk more about it. I also will probably be ending in 2 or so hours so I can go finish my talk that I literally was recording when you DM'd me that you thought we were doing this now. So I was luckily dressed and set all up already because I was recording.
I got 2 seconds. Bye, Twitch!
Peace. Bye.
All right. Hey, there you go.
Thank you.
I just emptied my pipe on you.
Huge raid. I appreciate the pipe emptying. Good.
Sorry.
Good content as always.
I didn't know where to go with that one. All right. Hey, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that because honestly, I feel like I have a much better idea of the conference I'm going to now. And I think there's a lot of cool things about it. I do like your typing that you put all the way through T3 app. I think that if I were to do a full stack JavaScript app, I would rather have something in which has typing throughout, right?
I appreciate it a ton. I do genuinely think the best way to get started with a full stack application right now is create T3 app. And I'm really proud of what the community built there. It's awesome finally getting to show it off. And I think this is a great way to see that specifically because it's like, oh, here's Next.js. Here are all of the pain points that like made us go build this other thing. And then stuff I didn't think we addressed, we did. So it's always cool to like use something that you love, see its like pain points, get to vent about them, and then show how strong the solutions are.
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought it was good. I thought you did a great job. Well, thank you very much. I
Of course.
appreciate it. I'm going to let you go. Have fun with the viewers. Bye.
Will do.
Chat.
Thanks again,
Bye,
man.
Theo's chat.
Peace.